What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 13 of the Beatcast. What's happening out there? Bree, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Good. So, as you notice, it's me and Bree today. We're missing someone here, but we'll get to that in just 1 second. So, just to do a quick explanation here. The Beatcast Sample Challenge, for those of you who haven't been here, this is a bi-weekly sample challenge where you can download the sample for the record that's picked by us here, and sometimes we have guest sample pickers as well. So you can go to thebeatcast.com to download the sample, make your beat using any equipment you want. Then you have 1 week to get a beat together and submit it. And so you want to submit your beat to thebeatcast.com. Post your beat to Instagram with the hashtag thebeatcast, and you have 24 hours within for 24 hours to submit that. And then we come back here with all of our pretty faces to review those beats and talk to special guests. You can catch the recaps on our YouTube page, links on our website, thebeatcast.com. As always, thank you to Heavy Mids for compiling the videos for every episode and creating the recap video. You can follow him at Heavy Mids on Instagram.com. So at Heavy Mids on Instagram. How'd I do?
You did. You did good. You did good, sir.
We go. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. It was good, man. It was good.
Yeah. So what you been up to, man?
Man, just working on different projects and preparing for to post some of the stuff that I've been working on in my studio. As far as away from the music and with some music and stuff, just trying to figure out a good workflow for things. So once I got that workflow together, there's more building out these projects and stuff. Shout out to Ellen for Ellen Finds. She's gave me a whole bunch of inspiration. We've been chatting and stuff and chopping it up about the creative process and, you know, just picking her brain for some of the things she does. She's a really awesome photographer, designer, creative in general. She's just real fucking dope. So I got some good stuff coming from the other side of my creative side outside of music. How about yourself, man?
Oh man, it's been busy. I can let everyone know, let you all down. I just didn't submit a beat this time around because it's been so crazy with work. I know. I was in Nashville for work and got back, taking care of some things around here, and you know, life just gets away with you sometimes. But I'm here. Right. We wonder, can we say the same for our fearless host, Al?
Yeah.
Or is he dead to us?
He's dead, so he got locked up. He got walking while intoxicated, so
life finally caught up to him.
Right. It was life that got him.
Yeah. All right. So
if you guys are paying attention during the from the post that came out today, as we close out this season of the sample challenge and prepare for the next season and all the good and big stuff that we're doing, we decided for the last couple of episodes, a caw for everybody. We decided for the last couple of episodes we're going to do a little bit of getting to know you guys. So we didn't talk about it because in the previous iteration of the Beat Challenge, we were all front and center, and so you got a chance to it was more building in the process. So you got to know us from that point. So what we're going to do now is move forward and introduce ourselves to you. So there's going to be tonight's guest is, Al, the founder of the Beatcast and co-founder of Sunday School Beats. He's also a rapper. He's now a producer. He's added a whole bunch of stuff to his tool shed. Yeah, so he's been rocking out. Really multi-talented person, and this give us an opportunity to talk about his history in hip-hop, his history as a creative, and how he meshes and builds and keeps life together and moving forward and whatnot. So maybe I guess without
some rhymes.
Right. You're right. Get a verse or two.
Yeah.
He was hella inspired after the season he was doing on TikToks. So, but without further ado, let's jump on in and get you in here, Al.
Wow.
You're on mute.
You're muted, buddy.
You're muted.
Hello.
You just want to do the true guest experience for us, like
yeah. I come in and my camera's down here and shit.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. He just wanted to be the worst guest. I'm going to be late. I'm going to
be fucked up on this thing real bad.
Technology, all that shit.
No, actually,
thank you for joining us, man.
Hey, happy to be here. I wasn't doing anything else at 7 p.m. on a Sunday, so
glad you could work into your schedule.
Yeah. It's weird being on this side of it. It's actually a little nerve-wracking because, like, I know you guys are going to ask me questions, and I usually don't answer any questions on this thing. You know what I mean? Like, I try to skip it and get off of me as a subject because I know Bree will say something weird at some point. So
it's not weird if I know you.
Oh, yeah. It's just the truth.
It's cool to have, like, I like when you brought this up to me, like, this idea. It was cool to have you as a guest because it's like people. You were on the season 1. Obviously, people know you, as the host. And, season 2 is the host. But no one really knows your background. Where you come from. I mean, you've spoken a couple things about it, but it's good to get to know. Like because I wasn't hosting, I was a guest last season, so I got to people got to know me. So now we get to know Al, and then yeah. So
it's one of those things too, where like last season I would get messages from some of the community that would be like, you guys should do I think one show, because we did 52 or 54 shows last season. Mm-hmm. And 52, and it was like, I think only one of them we couldn't get a guest, and so it was like just me and Dominic up there kind of chit-chatting back and forth a little bit, but we never really got too far off into our stuff. And this season I've actually got a lot of messages where they're like, hey, you guys should do something and talk about your backgrounds, because did I just get rid of myself? And I'm back. To talk about yourself, because it's like, I guess that is a good point. It's like, who the hell am I, right? Like, why am I doing this? And I get the curiosity is like where people would be like, why, like, who are you, dude? Like you do the Beatcast, but who the hell are you? So we didn't, we were going to have a couple different guests, but we had a guest fall through and then trying to get stuff. So I thought, well, why not? We'll just do it tonight, so and this is the second to last show, right? Before the
second to last show. Last one will be on the 30th, and that's going to be our special Halloween episode. Like Bree mentioned, we'll be bringing everyone on to come in, and
I'm going to come as Dr. Doom again because that's the only costume I have. So
I actually picked up a mask not long ago, so I at least got a mask. Yeah. What's funny is I'm so into Halloween and I'm so into horror movies and everything, but I haven't dressed up in years. Like I don't do I just don't do that. But this year my kids are like, get something when you take us out. So I just got a mask.
That is surprising.
So I just don't really. I don't know what?
I got the best costume, and I've worn that costume for 10 years.
What's that? International Man of Leisure.
Right. You're looking at it.
Ta-da.
No, I've it was like 2012. I had somebody called me and was like, "Yo, there's a party. It's in Mesa," and it was stupid. It was huge. Like I hadn't seen shit like that since like Flagstaff bonfire type shit. It was so many people. But so I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go to the party. I jumped into the one of those Halloween stores. I grabbed a priest costume. All it is just like the full on. Yeah. And it has the white collar already. You just zip in the back, and it's a done deal. And like I can go all day long with it. Like that costume makes an appearance every year.
You do have a priest vibe to you a little bit. Not if you know you in real life, but you know what's funny also? There's a character on The Walking Dead who you could pass for as the priest. Yeah. I don't know if you know that. You're a zombie fan.
I know who you're talking about. I know he was in Black Mirror. No, not Black Mirror. No, he's in The Wire. He was in The Wire.
I remember one year you had hit me up and you wanted to go as Miami Vice, but
yeah, dude,
I'm too lazy.
You disappeared on me. You like totally flaked on me.
I was like, all right, I'll do it.
Wait. You both show up to the party, but Bree's all decked
but he
out.
He showed up in like this like intricate. He was like, I didn't have the time and this and that. But he shows up in an intricate GI Joe outfit.
That was the year I went as a GI Joe.
Yeah, it was like intricate and shit. I was just
that was at Messy Goodness' spot. Neither here nor there.
Anyway.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Back to Al. It's hard to get. I know it's hard to get. to think of you as a guest, because
it is weird
getting these conversations.
It is weird.
So let's jump into some questions for you. So you're not are you originally from AZ, or what's your background? Where'd you come from, and all that?
No, I'm originally from the Bay Area, and I moved out. I didn't move to Arizona until about 85 or so, and the thing that's crazy about that, like, I can't go too far into that backstory because it gets a little wildery, believe it or not. But the actual story of why I came to Arizona has to do with my dad. And the thing is, with my dad, he was a wildery guy who, and this is where it kind of gets tricky to talk about some stuff. He got into some shit in the South, where my family's actually from. All my family's from the South, and he was a part of a biker gang. That's like a prominent one. And he did some stupid shit and then ended up kind of taking off. And basically he went to Florida, bought a house. That's where one of my brothers was born. And then kind of was still on the run from this situation, went to California. And that's where, poof, here I am, right? And then kind of continued on, just basically a sea of destruction on his way to Arizona. And then on an unrelated situation, he ended up dying in 90. Dude got shot to death. And it was pretty wild. Like, that was one of those things where, like, dealing with this guy, my dad, who was like just a terrible human being. He was it was the type of thing where to get away from it, I believe my brothers would kind of like find other ways to be creative. So I'm the youngest of I have two brothers and I have some stepbrothers, but my two brothers, both of them great musicians. Like, my oldest brother, he was opening for like the Gin Blossoms back in the day in Arizona, like way back in the 80s. And then my older brother James is an amazing guitar player, singer, and he was in a bunch of bands. One really big band called Second Skin. They were really big. Both of these bands, one is like more kind of like alternative rock, new age stuff from the 80s, and then Jim was more, I don't want to call it death metal. It's probably like he would probably correct me, but like, it isn't death metal, you idiot. But it was,
You'll have the specific subgenre.
Yeah, so something that I don't know the name of.
It's like Garage Blam. Like, what's Garage Blam?
The app? Oh, the app on Apple Tunes? No. And he was doing a bunch of craziness with his music, and up to this day, like, so they kind of inspired me. The equipment was around, and the motivator was there. Basically, just anything to not pay attention to the house, right?
Yeah.
And
so you went slumming it and started listening to that old hippity hop, huh?
Yeah, you know what? What had happened was, I'm a big believer that the area that you're in will and the people that you're around will sort of dictate what you listen to. So at the time that I started to gravitate towards my own choices in music, because prior to that I was listening to what they listened to, which was like The Cure and Duran Duran and like whatever, that kind of thing. When I ended up moving to an area where I started picking up on hip hop music, and Bree, you were there for this, as a matter of fact, because I had just moved to the area we used to live in, right? And it was interesting because the school I was going to right before that, when you introduce yourself in class, and you say your name and some of the stuff you're into, everyone was like, yeah, like whatever it was at the time, I can't remember. It was stuff like The Cure and Duran Duran. When I went to the school we went to together, everyone was like Fat Boys and like LL Cool J and NWA. Yeah. And so I was like, and I knew of this stuff, but it wasn't getting played in the house. Yeah. Now, my mom, though, she was really into like Prince, and she listened to like Anita Baker and stuff like this. So like I was, getting kind of a mixture of all these different sounds. But once I started to like gravitate to what I was going to make, I'm just not musically inclined in the sense that I could pick up a guitar. Like, my brother can read notes and shit. Like, I'm just not that. I'm dumb. So like I went towards, when I first used my brother Paul's TR-707, right? He just basically he went off to the military and was like, here, dude, take this shit. You can have it, And so when I jumped on that, and I met this dude, we ended up nicknaming him Soups. Soup was like a DJ, right? He had two belt-driven turntables, right? So together, me and him with this Tascam, this 4-track Tascam recorder, would make these tapes and shit like that. So we'd use the drums. And of course, my brother was using that TR-707, that Roland, as literally the drummer for the band when they couldn't practice with the drummer, because, it takes a lot to set that shit up. So, but I was so inspired by watching them and like, their band practices and shit like that. It looked like a lot of fun. And so, anyways, I dove into that. But the rap thing didn't come about because everyone used to rap, just goofing around at the school me and Bree went to. Everyone had some level of like bars that they came up with. But I was hanging out, and Bree, it's funny that you're here because you know these guys. But I was hanging out with this dude Dario and this cat Greg. And shout out to Dario and Greg. But Dario and Greg kind of got me into rapping with this like little keyboard I had. I used to use this microphone, and we were really little, like 11 years old or some shit. And I would just do these little raps and stuff, but it ended up kind of continuing. It was like, oh shit, I'm kind of okay at this, like, because really all you got to do is think fast, you know what I mean, to like come up with freestyles and be witty and shit, just like funny or something. And so fast forward back to when I'm meeting Soups. This is in high school when I meet this cat Soups. I'm jumping around, but we started making shit, and we were heavily influenced by like shit, now I'm gonna forget the name of them, but everyone knows it. Company Flow. Like we were heavily influenced by Company Flow, and like we were listening to like early shit of like Eminem stuff and like all types of people. You know what I mean? Like just before he was out with like Dr. Dre,
early raucous stuff and all that.
Yes, that type of shit. And so we would like basically do our own versions of this shit until I was like, oh, I could it became one of those things where like, as you get a little older, you're going to house parties, like 16, 17 years old, and I'm around these dudes, and like, it would be like, whenever I would go and it was my turn to freestyle or some shit, it would turn more into a show instead of like, let's just listen to him hurry up and get done. Yeah. And I was like, okay, there's something here. Cause like I'm entertaining these motherfuckers, so I should probably bottle this up.
A bit of a showmanship going on.
A little showmanship. Yeah. And so I would start making tapes and selling them. So I would just make cassette tapes. I'd press them up over at Guitar Center because they had the big multi thing where you could put a bunch of tapes in, and I would throw them in this briefcase and go to the local mall and just sell them out of the mall all the time. And that's just how I would make extra income, like.
Do you still have any of those tapes?
It's funny you just asked me that because I just bought this house and I had to go through all my stuff, and during that process I found the only tape I have left from then, and it's the original tape that we recorded everything on out of the Tascam. We called our group Soiled Denim. So like you shit your pants. And so I used to go by the name Pendulum too, like because I had like a swing to my rap, which is typical of a stupid name. And later that whole Ill Al, the Anglo-Saxon thing came about, which was Del the Funky Homo Sapien. So I was like, I'll do Ill Al, the Anglo-Saxon. Gotcha. And that was great. For a long time, it worked. It was weird, and people didn't even know. But nowadays, I'm just like, I'll just go by Ill Al. I almost want to just go by Alan, but I don't know what to talk. Names. What are you gonna do? So.
Yeah. I think we all like once you abandon that first horrible name that you think is awesome, and then you ended up as like, I just want to be Danny.
I just want to be Daniel. Yeah.
I'm still rocking my first moniker. Like,
that's good.
Maybe maybe I need to give it up and move on to something new now.
Well, this is where I take out the universe gave you a new one, Shotgun.
Yeah. Dude, Rick Shotgun is a really, or like ricochets too. Like, my name's actually not even Alan. It's Bernard, but no one knows that. But my name is Bernard Taylor. I just don't go by Bernard Taylor because that's just a little too fucking serious sounding.
It's too Bernard. Jesus. It's too Bernard.
Yeah,
it's too Bernard.
Maybe I should go by Bernard. No one's using that.
I tuck my T-shirt in my khakis.
Or that, yeah. To me, it sounds like a linebacker, like number 55, Bernard Taylor. Like it's like shit.
Or one of those. What's that style of rap? The nerd rap, nerdcore.
Oh, nerdcore.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
MC Bernard.
Hey, have you been checking out Bernard?
Have you heard Bernard? Now, how am I doing so far as an interviewee? Am I doing all right? Am I answering the
doing great, man?
I don't know how I'm
doing. You're doing all right. You're doing all right.
Your mic level's good. You got good presence.
Good lighting.
Only one technical difficulty.
One technical difficulty.
You're in there.
Yeah, you got it, man.
Might hit the Hall of Fame if you tell us something secrety.
Maybe.
So that's interesting, though. I didn't know you were working on like you said with the 707 and doing that type of stuff. Yeah. I thought you just started rapping at first, so that's kind of cool. I had no idea that you did all that.
Yeah. So yeah, technically I goofed around with beats first, I would say. Later I met this dude Germs and I used the ASR Pro, the ASR X Pro. But yeah, and then Mustafa comes into play. Mustafa ended up giving me one of his drum machines, so I used that. And that's really what led me to buy the 2000 XL, the MPC 2000 XL. But that was back in like 2000, I think.
How do you feel? How do you feel now as you're creating beats and you're a rapper? how do you feel balancing the two? Because I mean, as much as we would like to get away from that part of it, like it's once you spend that 10,000 hours just rapping and rapping, every time something comes on, you're gonna want to like put a couple of bars down. How do you feel balancing making beats and still having that, writer's itch?
I don't feel like I am balancing it really, because I feel like the writing piece of it has completely gone. Like I mean, I could do it, but I'm not. The last thing I recorded was with Mega Ran, of all things. You could actually hear the last track that I did with Mega Ran on either my Spotify or Mega Ran Spotify. Mega Ran has a much larger presence on Spotify. Highly recommend doing a song with Mega Ran, dude. he boosts your signal.
The algorithm goes up a little bit.
It goes up a little bit.
Just a little bit.
So yeah, that was cool. And that was just like basically like just a nice thing of him to do. But I don't rap as much nowadays. Like I'm not writing as much as I used to. So balancing it, there is no balance. I can still do it, like I wrote that from scratch.
I guess that's what I mean. Like,
yeah.
Do you find like that because they're both outlets as a creative outlet, I should say. Yeah. I mean, you're not rapping, but you still come up with bars, and you still might, diddle around with a verse or two.
Yeah.
But balancing that, because I know for me, we talked about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Being I have to do everything, not everything, but I like stop doing this to go do this. If I didn't have these 3 other things that I was working on, the music would just like, it almost bored me.
Yeah, I hear you on that. First off, real quick, shout out to No Silencer. I see you in there. What's up, James? Actually, James Taylor Films. That's my brother right there. And then Messy Goodness. Do I ever feel the urge to spit? Kind of going on with like what Bree's asking me right now. I don't. Like right now, I don't feel like my voice for multiple reasons. One, that's just not what I want to do creatively. Hey, thank you for that sub right there, No Silencer. Wait, the guest isn't supposed to say that.
We don't have access to see that on this.
We don't have access to that shit. I don't feel like my voice is needed in rap right now, and I feel like it's better served to just for me to shut up and like not cloud up the thing with what I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas I feel like with production, with beats, I feel like, huh?
I feel like I'm about to finish your sentence.
Go ahead. You feel free. Tell me.
I feel like it's a much funner place to be, sharing our beats with each other.
Yeah.
Than sharing raps. Like a room full of rappers just doesn't.
Dude, rap is not. It's not a positive space, right? For especially like just the social political reasons and all kinds of shit. For me to be, I'm 43 years old. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty well established. Things aren't painful in my life. I don't have any I kind of said it when I was younger. There's things I could talk about, and that's why it made so much sense when Mega Ran, for example, because I was just hanging out in his Twitch stream, and he was like doing a song. We're talking about gaming, and he was like, "Get on this one with me," because I was playing the same game he was playing, and I'm like, "Dude, I can do that." And that's a space that does feel authentic to me. Like, but like, I don't want to rap about when I did my shit back in the day. Like the last record I put out that I put tons of time and energy in, was actually working as like kind of like a professional musician, like full time, was Unplug in 2005, and that took years of like running that record, not only writing it, but then servicing the record and like touring on the record.
Well, the whole old routine.
Exactly. And you guys know me pretty well. Like I don't quarter step, I don't half step. I like whole step. If I'm going to do something, I will obsessively do it. You know what I mean? And so I can't kind of do that shit. With this record, with that last thing I did, that's Mega Ran's record. It's like, it's not even that's his.
So
song.
It was fun.
It's fun.
That was fun. Yeah.
I could do that. So I guess, if I did like verses on other people's shit, then I could absolutely do that. But making beats though, like that's always been a part of my thing. And I really do enjoy, like you were just saying there a second ago, Bree, it's like, it is fun. Like you're sharing something with people and they seem to respond well to it. So why not continually do it? Like if people are enjoying the beats, they put it on, and like, how it is when you play your shit for someone and maybe they don't like all of them, but one of them hits and they're like, damn, dude, you know what I mean? Like that's the shit. Like that's, you know, it's addicting waiting for that.
All it takes is that one, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone could hate everything, but if you got that one,
exactly,
that makes you feel so much better.
Absolutely.
And I think that's like the whole space of the transition, rapper to producer. So, and I also I think as far as fraternities go, or I don't know what the group, if it was unisex, would be, but women are involved too. But
right,
fraternity of producers is so much. It's a safe place. Like the room of rappers is like, first off, it's like the ego is just like way bigger, and then second, it's the competition is different.
Yeah,
like because with producers, typically producers are really quick to be like, hey, I got drums, man. Oh, can I work on this or can I do that with you? Like they want to like really work and put stuff together and stuff. Where rappers are just like, let me just show you how big my ego is.
Right.
You
it's
know,
braggadocio for sure. It's to me that's boring. Like the stuff I did back in the day was political mostly. You know, I would sprinkle in other stuff, but also I'm just not that good. Like you gotta be honest with yourself. And a lot of people are delusional. And I think with like rhyming and rapping and stuff, you can get better, but you have to you can't really not stay contemporary. And I'm definitely not going to do what's current.
You know what? You say that, I was thinking about that recently, like in the last week, because I was in my car and I was just rapping like hokily, and I'm sitting there thinking about that. I'm like, that is so not, because
you were in the car like, don't push me, cause I'm close to. You know what? This sounds dated.
Exactly, dude. I had listened to Lupe's new stuff.
Yeah,
and it's like that dude just like no matter what is, he's just like timeless as fuck.
Right.
And he's just, you know, his pen is just, his flow is just. So I'm listening to that shit and I'm just like, yeah, I like these beats because I'm not contemporary. I'm like 1999, 1998.
Yeah,
it happens.
My brain doesn't function that way. Did you, Shogun? Did you ever rap?
Yeah, I did, but like that was like in like, you know, for the first like, you know, 6 months of us, like me and my little, you know, group of friends and crew doing stuff, and I guess even further past that, because Jason, who does the High Nerds on podcast, he was in the first crew. Like we grew up together, and like he gave me some of our old recordings, and I'm just like, oh god, what the fuck was I thinking? You know, I was never good. You know, it was more of like I'm just having fun. You know, and yeah,
but that's what it's supposed to be like. And like in my crew, we had guys who were like street rappers and like they were gangsters or whatever. You know, like but we were on the whole other side of the coin. Like we were, you know, talking about we were more De La Soul, and they were way more
like Nas,
Pimp C,
or
you know, or you know, Nas too, because we had some guys from the East Coast. Everybody was from different places, but they were like doing this hardcore stuff. But we could exist in the same space, and I don't think you can do that now as well as you did before.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So let's go back to some of your history, Al. Like I know you. My first introduction to you was the Wholesome Crew, which was you, Terrence, who was going by Audio Oddwell at the time, and Les and Conrad, right? There was the four of you, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So was there like a bigger? I feel like, was that your first like serious, like this is what we're gonna do? This is, you know, we're taking this hip hop thing serious, or did you have like a group that you were trying to do something with before then?
Yeah, right before I met Terrence, you know, who goes by Audio. I'll just call him Audio Oddwell, or Audio, I guess. Before I met him, I had a group, a conglomerate of a bunch of different artists called Politic Different, right? And we did a whole thing, and it was just a bunch of like random people. We just kind of were coming together. We weren't really like performing anything. We were just kind of like learning how to record properly, like lyrics over beats and just all that kind of shit. It was very rudimentary early stuff. Stayed friends with a lot of those guys, but during that process, I ended up meeting Audio, Terrence, and he's more of a graffiti cat. You know what I mean? He was like, he was heavy in graffiti and very accomplished. Like the type of dude you would go, you know, people back then, just like skate tapes on VHS. People used to watch graffiti tapes on VHS. We'd throw it on and they would just film. You'd see his shit come up all the time, all over the country. You know, he was heavy. And shout out to him, still homies with him to this day. And he introduced me to a few other people, and then I think I can't remember how I met Les and Conrad. It might have been through them, but no, they're actually no. Les and Conrad I knew through Mustafa, I believe, and more so Conrad. And we started me and Terrence started doing stuff together, just writing raps and shit like this. And we were that's right, we were recording at the studio called the Gray Room here in AZ.
Oh, I remember the Gray Room, yeah.
And we were recording our stuff there with this producer Flipside, and then we ended up meeting the Unusuals, which was Conrad and Les, DJ Con Radio and DJ Les. Hey, there goes Fuji, the greatest rap group to ever exist. And so he knows, because that's around the time I met Politic Different as well, and or that I was doing Politic Different is when I met Fuji. And so we're going back to 1999, something like that. And so around 2000, 2001, we ended up forming Wholesome, and it was basically the Unusuals with me and Terrence, and that became the Whole Sum, so it's not like Wholesome spelled that way. It's like WHOLE and then SUM, the Whole Sum. And so we actually did a lot, like Conrad was getting us booked like all over the place. And that's when I met Aloe Black. We started touring with Eminon. So I was touring around with Aloe Black and Exile. That was just before Exile started producing stuff and like for like Mobb Deep and shit like that. Like he really took off. But I could tell that those two, like Eminon, were like insanely talented, obviously. I'm like around a young Aloe Black. I'm like, oh shit. But those dudes are so nice to us and like so not, egotistical at all. They would like open us up to new opportunities. Yeah, they were just like chill dudes that would just sometimes, because of the job that Aloe Black had, he'd be coming through Arizona for his job, and he would just like come and hang out. And like we would perform, and sometimes he would come out and just introduce us, which was really cool. That's when I met like Project Blowed cats, and through my homie Soup. It's odd, right? Going back to what I was talking about earlier in high school when I met Soups. Soups from Arizona, originally from Chicago, ended up moving out to LA in 2000, and he's been there ever since, and just got an internship at Fat Beats. I'll skip to the short route of this story, but as an intern at Fat Beats, he worked his way up to like running Fat Beats on LA. In LA, like right there on Melrose. And so I got to meet like tons of people through Soup and through Conrad, just basically through the shit that they were doing. And it opened me up to a lot of opportunities. Like at some point, and I am jumping around a lot because there's a lot to say, but like ultimately Wholesome, we kind of did a bunch of shows together, toured a lot, met a lot of people. But then when we split up, we didn't just outright quit that group. We sort of became this larger conglomerate again. So it went from like Politic Different to the Wholesome, and then Wholesome became Avenue of the Arts. And that was still with me and with Terry, with Oddwell. And Avenue of the Arts was something that, I always wanted to kind of do the big group effort like I did with Politic Different. But Avenue of the Arts ended up being like some of these really insanely talented cats like Ohm. Ohm is like, I think from all groups all over Arizona would say, most people would agree that he's like one of our best. He's like super underrated too, because like not enough people know about Ohm, because he's just a chill dude. He's your quintessential hip hop head who's just like doing the thing but doesn't care about any of the rest of the shit.
It's just fun to him to rap. He enjoys just rapping and being around the cats.
He doesn't give a shit about records and all that stuff. But
that's fun love.
So I brought Ohm. I had met Ohm when we were working together at that same mall I used to sell tapes in. Like it all kind of centers around like the cool shops at Metro Center.
Old Metro Center.
Yeah, that's where I met a lot of these cats. Like I met Ohm there working at the same like hip hop clothing shop. We ended up doing records together and brought in all these other groups, Stereotype, rest in peace, Aim Dugan, and like all these people. And Avenue was going heavy. Like Aota became this heavy group of musicians, and we didn't stay in Arizona much. Like we kind of followed Stereotype's lead. I could branch forever and talk about Avenue, but I won't. I'll just say that we toured a lot all over the place. And around that time I put out Unplug. And when I put out Unplug, I had signed to a couple of record labels, like a rock record label called Grave 9 Records. And they were getting me on like Warped Tour and stuff and doing all this kind of shit. And then Universal Music, which is still around to this day. They're like a huge promotion company in Arizona. And they're crazy. They bring out like Kanye West and shit, and like at this level, but they don't do records anymore. They learned after my record. No, I'm just kidding. But they would hook me up on some pretty serious tours. And then, skip over that time, I ended up kind of learning a lot, meeting a lot of people. I ended up getting to do records with like Micah 9 from Freestyle Fellowship. Roscoe from Cali Agents and stuff like this, Nayla. I ended up, doing stuff with Paris, Sax, and Bus Driver, and Tumex, the Visionaries, Elemento, and like all these dudes. And through meeting these guys who are like, my OGs, these are the dudes I used to see in magazines and shit when I was like, 18, 19 years old, and like Puma articles and, Puma ads and shit. They're like sponsored by Puma. I'm like, what the fuck? And now I'm like in a van with these dudes, like on tour, dudes from the Living Legends and stuff. Like I went out with Eli, and I got to open up for Merce, like out of state, being on the same flight and shit. I'm like, this is insane. All this happening from writing shit, But I'll tell you the truth though, through all that shit, though it was super cool and like fun and a learning experience, I'm not that guy. There are people who are like built to be on the road, and I just wanted to get the fuck back home, And like I wasn't big on like meeting people afterwards and shit too. I'd want to just perform and then go sit in the van, and like wait till the next show. And
I did one short tour, and it was, oddly enough, it was with Audio Terrence.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like I hated it.
It's
I would
not
never
fun.
go back on tour. No, not at
I mean,
all.
it is fun, but it's being, if you're especially
it's grueling, man. Like
if you're an introvert, being continually pushed into extrovert situations where you gotta like perform and be like available is not.
Talk to people.
You got to talk to people.
Be nice to people.
You got to take pictures and
and if you're poor and can't afford to be out there, but you're still out there,
dude. I was slick at that shit though. Like I would teach a lot of the cats that are like younger. When I came back to AZ, I would meet a lot of these dudes and I would like kind of game them out, including one dude. Like I basically took a lot of my resources. I'm like, I don't know, like I'm one of those cats who doesn't like to keep secrets and shit. Like I'm trying to help other people in AZ get good, like with whatever I had back then. All of my knowledge now is antiquated, but back then it was valuable. So I'd come back and I would teach like Mouse Powell, who like he's still to this day like out there killing it, and the Exiles and all these cats, how to like go on tour and just basically not go broke. You know what I mean? So how to like keep your guarantees, like how to make sure you're doing. But a lot of that game too, I learned from Pixter, because Pixter, he was our tour manager for most of that. And
was
Pixter's,
he really?
Yeah, he was.
I had no idea.
He was our dude. Like he's the guy that would be like, hey, we're, you have a tour book, and he's like, we're going from here to this place. We're going to check in. You got to be up at this time. You got to be in the van at this time. And we really would like dip out on people if they weren't in the van. Like we fucking have to get to the next city. We'll see you there. But the shit was a lot to deal with. And none of that is conducive to a lifestyle of being a dad. You know what I mean? You got to kind of like set all that shit aside no matter what. But what I did is I just completely quit. I just kind of disappeared and started doing construction, like around 2008 or so. But then I kind of came back. I opened up my own hip hop shop in Arizona called Main Artistry, and I was selling a bunch of shit and had a studio in the back, and it was great. Closed that shortly after the freaking world crashed in 2008 or 9, whatever. I closed it a couple years later and moved on from there. So, like that's all that actually that. Then I had my daughter, and I sort of just like, when you know how it is when you have kids, you don't really have an interest in like you in that kind of shit, anyways.
It's trimming the fat.
You get serious about life.
Like you just want to like the important thing is just to keep them alive.
You just want to make sure they're okay. Yeah. So I did that. I mean, she's good, and I'm like a more seasoned dad at this point. So I guess that would lead into Sunday School Beats. Like at that point.
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask, like, what, because the first season of Sunday School Beats, like, you guys were already doing it when I found out about it. I had actually, you and I were like on the same Instagram live, like or you were on with Baca, or I think you were. I was
just in the chat, just watching it.
Yeah, and that's why I learned about it. So, so I still don't know how it got started. Which, funny enough, now that I think about it, I have no idea how you guys started it.
Yeah, so Sunday School Beats is DJ Organic's brainchild. That was his thing. He was doing Sunday school. I don't know if he called it Sunday School Beats yet or not, but I was seeing me and DJ Organic. He interviewed us one time. He was like the interviewer for a Wholesome Crew interview we did back in 2001 for like public access. That's how long ago I know him.
You still got that video back there?
It's actually up on the internet somewhere. And it was funny because Organic kept making fun of the guy that was filming us. He kept calling him a camera Nazi because he's being such a jerk. But so I've known him a long time, and we've just stayed cool. Like we weren't like hanging out all the time, but like we had done stuff in the past. And so I saw him putting up these posts called Sunday School with the hashtag, and he would just do like a theme, for his beats. But with the Sunday School thing, he was doing, like religious records. And then I had a machine, like an MK2, just kind of sitting in, I actually bought that off Zilla, I believe. And I had it just in the closet, like I hadn't used it. So I hit him up and I was like, hey man, can you help me get my thing going here? Because I want to use that as a peripheral and I won't bore you with all that stuff. And he totally dove in there and was helping me out. And it was one of those things where, oh, there goes Zilla right there. Thank you, Zilla. It was one of those things where he was basically like, hey man, I don't know, man. He went above and beyond organic. He was like, let me know if this works. Hit me back. And if it doesn't, we'll try this. Like if you ride for me like that, you help me out. I'm the type of dude that'll I'll give you the shirt off my back. You know what I mean? I'm like, cool. You're a loyal dude. I got you. So I'm like, shit, man, let me go. Cause I know a thing or two about how to do certain things. I'm like, let me help this dude turn what he's doing into something larger. You know what I mean? Let's take it from this challenge that he's got going to himself. And let's turn it into a podcast. Let's turn it into, something closer to a version of the Rhythm Roulette thing. That piece of it, I think he already had that idea going, And so we sort of connected just out of being homies, talking in the background, and decided to do Sunday School Beats as a serious thing, with basically, thanks Bree, as a serious thing where we were like, we'll actually kind of structure this, I'm really good at that kind of thing, organizing structure and building processes. So we did that. And what you're seeing now with the Beatcast season 2 very much came out of that sort of thinking of how can we include more people in this and get, we'll put the sample up and the whole how to do it kind of thing, the structure thing, and then the back end of it, just everything that goes into creating a website. And there was a lot to that. I won't bore you with all the boring details, but ultimately we were kind of shocked that it not only worked, it worked really well. And there was times during the last season of the Beatcast. So now the Beatcast is the podcast portion of Sunday School Beats, right? Mm-hmm. And so Organic never really had an interest in doing that piece of it so much. That's not. He's more of he's a DJ. He wants to kind of play the background. And I'm like, well, I can host it up with you. But I told him, I was like, you should be the face of this is your thing. You be the host. You know what I mean? So I was just kind of his co-host, moral support, really. And I was like, I want to bring in Bree. Because Bree, I've known forever. Bree's done podcasting on his own before we were doing Sunday School Beats. And I saw some pretty cool shit with what you were doing before. I'm like, we need him in on this. Plus, me and Bree just have a rapport. You know what I mean? Together. We just have, we just have we have a really ancient friendship that it's fun to do stuff together. So that was pretty much that. I was like, then we can have guests come in and we could reach out to a bunch of people we know from the community. And that went great. As you can see, last season was fucking awesome. Yeah. And of course, during that break, he kind of, life had happened. He needed to do his job thing. Kind of what happened with John. John has, some work stuff come up and he needs to kind of turn his focus into that. And I don't think for Organic, this is really what he wanted to do. You know what I mean? I don't want to speak for him, but this wasn't what was making him happy. And so I'm like, this shit is, for me, it's it is fun. I'll just continue it, and we'll do it as the Beatcast for a season 2 and so on and so forth. So, but ultimately it kind of came out of just me and Organic, putting our heads together and basically combining our resources to create this challenge. And out of this challenge came so many other, it's funny because I see a lot of other things pop up and they have a very similar structure to us, with the way that we do our podcasting and the way that we showcase producers that get involved. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the inspiration from the podcast element I take from a podcast called Kind of Funny, which is a video game centric podcast. But this dude Greg Miller over there, which is wild because even they're huge, right? But even Mega Ran's been on that show as from the video game side of things. It's kind of cool, it's very inspiring seeing the way that they did their setup. You know what I mean? So I kind of just emulate that. So everyone's kind of doing a bit of inspiration and I guess innovation with their own pieces of it here and there.
Their own twist, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you feel like well, first, do you feel like the podcast has been a success, and do you feel more validated doing this than with hip hop?
They would just making music without doing the Beatcast?
Yeah.
I guess first off, do I feel like this is a success? Actually, I think this is like successful beyond like my wildest dreams. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, this is insanity. You know, to think that this would work. You know, like that you would do something like this and people would participate in it. You know what I mean? And just like not only like people, but like really talented musicians too. You know, like some of these guys are like really good. You know, and so yeah, it's super successful, and it depends on, because I guess success is what do you call that, like subjective? Relative to the person. So like if we had hundreds of thousands of people and stuff like this, you know, like that, they obviously like you could say that that's a success, but what failures could that bring about too? You know what I mean? Like is there a size limit to like how much we could even process? As because remember we were even talking off camera one time with, I won't say who, was like a larger YouTuber that we've been homies with, who was like, maybe we do something together, but he has millions and millions of subscribers, so if we combine our shit, could we even process all those beats? You know what I mean? So it's difficult, right? It's like, how do we how do you gauge that? Thank you, Pablo, for doing that. But ultimately,
it's funny. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, in those moments like that, what you were just talking about, it's like that's when you're reminded, like, okay, maybe this is kind of a success, you know, because of those little things. It's like when you're in the moment, you don't think about what's really happening, you know. So
I mean, I would say it's very much a success. I mean, it's when you look at the levels of that we've accomplished, the relationships we've built, and the connections we've created. We created an entire ecosystem that functions on so many different levels. And you know, it ebbs and it flows like anything else, but it exists. And it still has the ability to exist, and it's not like on life support by any means.
Right. Yeah.
It's thriving. So very much a success. I mean, it's not just the proof is in the pudding. It's just like it's here. It's living. It's
living. It's happening. You know, and it's as like I make a conscious effort to stay out of the way, right? Because I guess it kind of goes to what you're saying too. Like the Beatcast is not successful because of any one person doing it. It's absolutely a community thing, right? And it's like kind of and I actually find that we're doing this, and the fact that people have messaged and said, who like, so can you do one of these on yourself so I can know who you are, you know? And I was always kind of like, because I try to stay out of it. Like I don't post myself in the Beatcast stuff. I try to just keep myself as just a participant, right? And I think we all do that. Like we don't want to like fuck with it, because it's an honor. Yeah, it's like an honor to have it, and we want that to be there for everyone. So the fact that people are asking like, who the fuck are you, is kind of like a testament to it being that way, which is good. And I would always kind of just like see those and be like, oh, that's cool, thank you, but I don't want to do that until, you know, maybe one time we don't have a guest line up or had a guest cancel, and it's like, okay, we can throw it in this this moment. So
it comes when you like, not like as a flex, but like, you know, just as a in conversation, you know, it's like, in
conversation, it's awesome. When people bring this shit up, dude, that shit's tight. When people are like, dude, this is the guy that has he does the Beatcast. It's like, fuck, I'm so proud of the Beatcast. I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, the Beat. I'm wearing it.
I never leave the house, so I
there you go.
Alan did that to me. Alan did that to me. So I hadn't seen Alan in probably 10 or 15 years, something like that.
A while back.
So it was a while. So his whole career in hip hop life had happened in that gap. And he was at that point, he was like, it was funny because we would go around, you know, hanging out with people, and wherever we went, you know, people, you know, hey, Anglo, how you doing? What's up? Hey, you know, like, and he's sitting there, he would look over at me, and he'd be like, I don't know what to say, and it was just funny to me because I'm like, be the man. It's cool, be the man. But he's introducing me like, no, this is Aubrey. He has a podcast. He'll play your music. Like, listen to him. I talk to him. Like, and I'm like, no, you're the local famous. You're the guy. Don't point it at me.
You know,
and the funniest shit was in the car. You were like, these people are holding on to something that doesn't exist. That was so fucking dramatic. It's so like so poetic at the same time. Like,
Yeah,
that's hilarious.
Certain people, because especially when you're busy and you're succeeding at whatever the art that you're putting out, if people like it at a certain degree, mind you, I never got to a level. Well, so many people out there, but it's kind of terrifying, right? Because you're like you're gonna do laundry that night. You're not doing anything cool, and like some people get a weird idea that you're always doing cool shit. It's like I'm not, dude. Like there ain't nothing cool happening here. So I'm always, me personally, the way I'm about it is I'm a fan of like my friends. I'm a fan of like other people's music. So if I know you do cool shit, like who gives a shit what I'm doing? Like I'd rather put your shit out there in the forefront than my shit. What am I do? Talk about myself. So I don't know, but yes, circling back, I'm super proud of the Beatcast. I feel like it is a huge success, and it's like, it's terrifying and it's humbling. And it's super fun to do it with you guys. This is also why I want to do it with a whole group of people. You know what I mean? I don't want this pressure. I don't want this.
The pressures of not just cats you don't know, but like being able to do this shit with some people that. Right. I mean, we hit on that. I think every week, and I think it's important to always hit on that and be reminded that it's a community thing. Mm-hmm. This is all of us. It's us together, and there's no one man above the
right.
The
project, yeah.
So it's like, that's a good feeling because, we all have a place and we all have a voice and we're all, a part of this and making this happen. So in doing that, do you feel like you are because I mean, obviously you do it for a living as well. How deep is being a facilitator in your wheelhouse?
Oh, like being like, what do you mean? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, you co-founded a big hip hop crew that did a lot of local stuff that was and national stuff. So that was dope of yourself. Then moving on and organizing this and creating and putting this together. I mean, in the projects in between and the other movements, the store and all that stuff. Like, is this the being a facilitator, creator? How deep is that in your wheelhouse?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think it fits my personality type. I'm much more of like I wouldn't go as far. I don't like when people call what I'm doing as a leader. I'm not a leader because that implies other people are followers, and I don't think that does anyone any service. I don't think that's the way that none of us operate like that. It's just like somebody in the group has got to get out a pencil and a piece of paper and organize shit. So and that's really all there really is. And then just listening to other people's ideas because you get a group effort going, you're going to have a lot of voices and strong personalities, and you're going to have a lot of people that are better at shit than you. And like, if you're good at putting yourself out of the way and just being able to be like, okay, I hear what you're saying. Let's try. Then from what I hear is this, and you repeat it back and then be like, and I think the best decision is this. And then if everyone kind of like sees you do that, and then they're kind of trusting you, and then it works with whatever you're doing, that instills confidence in those people to then let you do it again. So because any person who's like making decisions is like only doing that if you have a group of people that go along with it. So it's one part terrifying and one part like, I guess, honorable, or it feels like an honor, I should say. But how much is it in my wheelhouse? I think it's just a personality type thing, I'm not like an A-type personality though. Like I'm not like this alpha brain type of guy at all. You know me. So I played the background, but I think ultimately, I think it takes a certain type of mindset to like do it. Like I'm just like highly analytical and super detail oriented. I'm like OCD. I think it's a problem.
if that's the case, you had on shorts the other day,
right?
And took a picture of yourself in those shorts.
You're stupid.
Like, what were you thinking?
What were you thinking? Well, to that you have to say,
why do you
like,
only wear black? Why do you only wear black? Like, you're not a villain, and you're not Henry Rollins. So, like, why only black?
Fun story, actually related to Henry Rollins. No, I have no answer to these fucking weird ass questions.
So Al,
yeah,
what gives you the right?
What gives you the I don't know.
All right. Let's break off. We can continue to chop it up a little bit more and stuff. Let's break off and get some of these beats in.
Beats.
I do have one quick question before we get into beats. So you released your project, your beat project. Do you have any other beat projects you have currently slated to roll out, or anything you're working on?
Yeah, so the last record I did was called Still Alive, and that it has Ill Al in it, Still Alive. And that's just sort of answering, a lot of people were like, where the fuck, what happened to you? Like before I did Sunday School Beats, a lot of people just thought I fell off the face of the earth or some shit, because I used to always be out doing shit, And so that was the answer to that. Still Alive, that's my record, right? And this next record is called Good Problems, right? So with having some success with music, or having some success with a project, or at work, or wherever you in your family, whatever in life, you're going to have shit happen. That's like where, when people say more money, more problems, right? That's not my issue right now. There's no more money. But, you got to reframe that kind of shit and look at the nature of the problem that you're having. Because I'll hear people complain about shit, and they're like, oh my God, I got this, that. And I'm like, yeah, but that's a good problem to have. People would kill for those problems, Like if you were looking where to park your yacht, you got nowhere to park it. That's a problem, but it's a good problem.
Yeah.
So in the process of making records, you have a lot of issues that come up, and the same thing with producing music. Just finding time is the first effort everyone has, right? And how does that fit, especially as an adult? Like, where does that fit into your life, and where does it fit realistically? And so that's what this inspires. This next record is like the overcoming those good problems, right? This is good problems to have, man. I'm making a record, like another instrumental record, and that I'm super happy that people actually buy. Isn't that weird when someone buys your shit? You're like, what the fuck, So
that's what I used to think of my photography, and I was like, you just spent that much on my shit.
You bought my shit, yeah. It's fucking, it's a wonderful thing.
It is.
Even if you're selling lemonade, somebody buys it and they sip it and they're like, that's some good fucking lemonade. You're like, so
I imagine that feels a lot better, because that's like really like in the
you get
moment,
to see him drink it.
Yeah, and it's like it's like they take that sip and it's like, oh, that's some good shit.
That's some good shit.
Thank you. It's not like your music where it's like, oh, I'm feeling that. Okay, I'm gonna listen to it again later. Like,
right. Isn't that weird though, when somebody like, do you do the thing where like you put up a beat, somebody like hits the like button or they say something nice, and then you have to listen to it on your own so you can almost like experience it with them. You're like, what do they like about this? Like, anyways. So the next record I have coming out is called Good Problems, and it will be out during this break. And of course, all of that is going to be, it'll pop up. Oh, I put this thing, the goal up over my thing. It'll all be available at the information at Ill Al. So it's ill_al_, because somebody took Ill Al on Instagram. So that's going to be there. You know what I mean? And, just I guess since I'm getting because usually I don't say anything from my own point of view. So if I can during this portion of it, thanks for the interest. For the cats that have messaged me, like, who the fuck are you? Total valid question. So if you didn't catch the beginning of this, you could always watch through on the replay on our YouTube channel. But also, thanks for participating in this as we're rounding out the season. And thank you to you guys for coming back again, because, this is time out of our day that we do this, And time is money, man. It's like, it's an investment. And it's an honor to do this shit with you guys. It's like, been a blast. John, too. John's just, the last few shows he's had to go. So shout out to John. John did a ton of shit for the Beatcast. Like,
behind the scenes, yeah.
Yeah, like tons of shit.
A lot of moving parts.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Back there. And
shout out to all you guys in the chat that keep showing up and listening to, like, everyone who's participated by putting in a beat, and like by just, even if you don't make beats and you're just listening, and consuming, like, thank you for doing so.
We've seen more of that this season too.
Yeah,
more people that come in and they're just lovers of hip hop. That's empowering, and it's really good reflection of us that we're not just that it is a community thing, that it's everybody that's a part of the community that makes the community work. Some listeners, the doers, the dancers, everybody, all those moving parts.
So Zilla just asked, when's the next one, or are we going on a break for a while? So the next episode, October 30th, is going to be the last episode before the break. That's our special Halloween episode where we'll be bringing a lot of you guys on to talk. And then we'll be taking a break till, I can't remember the date, like January.
I think it's January 15th.
Like it's 15th. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Which, by the way, look for that link for the next show, because I'm going to send the link out to you guys. So next because like the new sample drops after the show tonight, and then we drop our beats next Sunday, right? And then that following Sunday, which is October 30th, it's the Halloween episode, and at the usual time. So I'll send a link out to all you guys. Like, I'm gonna try to go through and catch as many people as I can, and then just pop in as many as we can fit in, and we'll just chat with you for a little bit, and that will also go up on our YouTube page, kind of to document that. And then the break after that, and then we'll be back January 15th, I think, because the first sample drops on the 1st. I want to say. Yeah,
I think that's what it was.
Yep.
We'll get those dates to you guys. Don't worry.
We'll post it.
we're on top. We promise we're on top of it.
And just so you guys know, like during the break, there will be other things going on. So like we are going to be, coming in and coming out. I got some stuff I'm working on. Shogun has stuff he's working on. Al has his project he's putting out. I got a podcast that I've been working on. So it's good stuff coming. So we're still.
We have so for those of you here, we're here last season for Sunday School Beats. We did the one roundtable. It was on Zoom where it was a machine roundtable. So everyone's invited to join on the Zoom link and talk about whatever we got going on. So we're going to be doing these roundtables during our break on the days we would usually have the show. So we'll be promoting those, and you guys will have the links, the Zoom links, and those will be found. So you should join our Discord so you can get all that information for those gear roundtables. And
if you guys want, and just real quick, this is another one of our shirts. If you guys want to support us, because we don't ever ask for like outright money, we might have to do a quick note. We might have to do like a Patreon or some shit. I don't know if it would be successful or not, but Instagram is kind of lowering the levels, like the visibility, I think, of almost all Beatcast challenges. Not Beatcast challenges, but I see the sample challenges. I see the numbers going down all over the board, not just us, everyone, right? And I don't know if they're just like putting a damper on original music going up or music with samples. I don't know what the fuck's happening. And I'm just
let me just throw my Cash App out there for you guys.
Just throw your Cash App out there. Right. See, that's what we do. Yeah, that's exactly what we're trying not to do. So if you want to support us and keep us going, hit us up on our merch. I mean, we have a bunch of cool ass merch at thebeatcast.com. And I think as we end, I'm going to put up a sale. So there'll be a little bit of a discount too. And I'll put that code out there so you guys can get it. But yeah, there'll be all this merch is available at thebeatcast.com. So if you ever want to support.
Yep. Oh, and don't forget, for all of you who submitted a beat this week, you're up for the Serato Studio license. So we got the 1-year Serato Studio license to give away for all of you who submitted a beat this week. Not all of you. One of you, you guys, if you submitted a beat for this episode, you're in the running to win the Serato Studio license it's a 12-month license.
Which is pretty tight, dude. Thanks for doing that.
Yeah.
That was awesome. You set that up.
Yeah, Serato hooked that up. So sharing the love with you guys.
Hell yeah.
They like what we're doing. So they got that for you guys.
Specifically, I don't know if we picked any beats this week. I think we were just going to play them, like, what we've got at random, right? So, like, I'm just going to play them at random. And I think we're going to play 10 to 15 of them. And if we hit our goal, which I think our goal, we're only like 2 away from our goal. So if we get 2 more subscriptions, we'll play all the beats of the week. Here we go.
This is King Co. This is King Co. This is King Co.
Who is this?
This is King Co. This is King Co.
That was like perfect timing, dude.
Right.
Wait.
Who is this?
This is King Co. This is King Co.
That's Cinco. Kinko. I've been saying it wrong this whole fucking time.
Yeah. We've been saying Stinko, right?
Yeah. Fuck that up big time.
Damn. That was dope.
Hard.
I was looking down. I wasn't, so I didn't know did he sample you saying who is this, or did you say who is this?
I said that.
Oh, you did say that.
That was perfectly timed, dude. Did you guys plan that?
I thought he sampled you or something and threw it in there because I wasn't looking at the screen.
That kicked ass. That beat was the shit.
Yeah, it was. It was dope.
That timing was super weird and suspect. That was crazy. And additionally, we've been saying his name wrong. I thought it was Cinco. It's Kinko.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kinko.
If we ever pronounce your guys' names wrong and you want to message us and tell us to stop it,
Yeah, just tell us.
just tell us.
Even leave us a voice message on Instagram. It's Kinko.
Yeah.
You know?
Or give it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Or you can give it to us the phonetic spelling in the chat.
If you give it to me phonetically, I still won't.
You won't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it said this is King Kong in the sample, and then I realized no. Damn it. That was tight though. Whenever my beat comes up, I always have to say this is totally at random. So I didn't do this on purpose. Here we go.
That was probably the hardest beat you've done. And I don't mean like your other beats were good. I mean like that one was actually like, you know, like pretty hard.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
Thank you.
Like that.
That was pretty good. That I think that one, and then like there was one. I want to say it was during SSB, and you had started doing you're syncopating your drums a lot more, and like you had switched up from like this like heavy like boom bap sound to, I mean it's still boom bap-ish, but you changed your drum pattern style signature.
Yeah,
and that was really dope. And
well, thank you.
Kept doing that. So yeah, that was pretty hard beat.
Thank you very much. Do you want to know what I realized that we didn't do?
The Beatcast is brought to you by Mixwell, the turntable and lifestyle brand going strong since 1997. MixwellWorldwide.com. 7th Street Media, digital solutions that connect with consumers. Beat Mecca Phoenix, showcasing and connecting music producers in the Phoenix metro area. BeatMeccaPHX.com. Grand Avenue Records, specializing in 7 and 12-inch vinyl records, CDs, tapes, gifts, collectibles, and more. GrandAvRecords.com.
Random guy introducing DJ Rogers.
I'm sold on you. No one else will do. I'm sold on you. No one else will do.
Fuck yeah. I want to say that was Slap Zach, I believe. I think. That was Slap Zach.
That was pretty dope.
Yeah, man. That was cool.
You
have to dip, don't you?
Yeah, I was gonna say, if I don't know if you guys saw that or not.
Yeah.
Just did have a little bit of emergency come up here, so I gotta pop on out of here.
All right, no worries. If you
right,
have time, you're always welcome to hop back in if you get back.
Yeah, hopefully this won't take me long. So
All righty.
if not, peace out.
All righty. We'll see you.
All right, be safe, bro.
So it was something you said that made him leave.
The Rod Stewart thing?
It might have been the Rod Stewart thing. I believe this is Pesto Fresh. Damn, dude, he brought this like a dance vibe. Like a 90s dance vibe. Nice.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say I do believe that was Pesto Fresh. And I think that might be the first time Pesto Fresh has entered something into the Beatcast. You know what we didn't do, Bree? Because this was your sample, by the way. You picked this.
Yes.
And these are the beats that dropped on 10.9, but that would have been, originally the sample was pulled 10.2. And the sample of this episode is DJ Rogers' Sold on You. So if you want to hear the original, wait, I have got the goal up in front of the way. Let me get that to go away. But yeah, if you want to hear this record, the sample of this that everyone's using is DJ Rogers' Sold on You. So if you don't know, now you know. Let's continue. Gigi.
Burst the bionic zit splitter. Breakneck speed, we drown 10 pints of bitter. We lean all day, and some say they ain't productive. Could that depend upon the demon that you're stuck with? Cause right now, I see clearer than most. I sit here contented with this cheese on toast. I feel the pain of a front row famine. Segway, we count them blessings and keep jamming. Scumbag, scum of the earth, his worth was nil until he gained the skill of tongues. From 15 years young, straight to my grayback self, I stay top shelf material. Jerk chicken, jerk fish, breakaway slave bliss. Generate G's and then we stash them in the Swiss. Fools can't see this. Under your pistols, a fist full of hip-hop guns. I progressing in the flesh. Esoteric quotes, most frightening. Duppy took a hold of my hand while I was writing. Leg on the ting, Duppy, leg on the hand. I summon up the power of Banana Clan.
Banana Clan. That was dope.
That was. GG samples.
Dude, Gigi's always a presence too, man. You know, even in the Discord, he's always in there drumming up some sort of conversation. Shout out to Gigi, man. He's awesome.
Yeah, for real, dude. We appreciate that shit.
Oh yeah. This is Scolezzi. Dutch Beach, thank you for the sub. Or Messy Goodness actually gifted Star Dutch Beach that sub. Thank you for doing that. One sub away from playing all the beats. Dude, D0 Beats is in the chat. First off, that was tight, Skolzy. That was, I really dig that one. Good swing on that. But D0 always reposts our stuff. Do you see that on Instagram? Dude, yeah. That's cool as hell, man. Appreciate it. This is like, anytime you do that kind of shit, that's fucking awesome. Appreciate you doing that.
It really is, glad you're man. Look out for that.
Mm-hmm. We notice. He goes, Ant. Damn, he went quick on this one. This is like a much faster pace.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that little muted pause. Absolutely in a club zone for sure. Now, we haven't seen like Ant. Has he been consistent the entire time, posting something every single time, or did he miss any?
I don't think. I mean, I feel like he might have missed one, but
one or two. Yeah.
Like we were talking earlier, I miss shit because of the algorithm.
Yeah.
Like I like certain stuff. I'm just like you. It used to be Sunday. I saw everything. Sunday, Monday. It was just like everything was there. Now it's like I don't even see certain.
It's a gamble.
Cats.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even see cats in my timeline at all. Even when I'm going and looking for it.
I'm hoping Instagram improves that kind of shit too, so we can stay, engaged with everybody, because they've made it difficult a little bit lately, but it is what it is. Ellen Fines says Ant was in a club zone. Side note about Ellen Fines, she messaged earlier to the Beatcast page and said, tonight I'm going to be chilling, sipping some wine and carving pumpkins. And I told her, bonus points if you drink wine out of the pumpkin that you've carved. So if at any given point you do that, send a video of that in. We'll play that right in the show. You just carve a pumpkin.
Freshly carved.
Yeah. Because I don't even see how the hell that would be possible, especially if it's jack-o'-lantern. Good luck with that. Is this going to be one of the ones where the video doesn't pop up? This is, I believe, Garrison Jones. Tigre. Nah, man, that wine's too good. No, this isn't Garrison. This is Soft Cannibal.
Nice transition.
Yeah, that's just tight. Damn, dude. Soft Cannibal's the shit, man. He's been going with us since Sunday school, since way back. Steady.
Yeah, man. He's a cool dude, man. We chop it up too. He's a good guy.
We're gonna have to have him on the show at some point. Chop it up with him. Hopefully, the rest of the videos don't do that. Sometimes that happens, where it's something with the encoder or something. It just won't show the video. It could be the connection too. I don't know, but at least we can hear it. So, next up is Prot. Whoop. I've been trying to get Prot on the show, and just scheduling wise hasn't worked out.
I think Prot is in the zone right now.
Yeah, look at this. And see, he gives me shit about putting girls in my videos. Now look at him. He's in here molding chicks' butts and shit. This beat is the shit, though. Look, you're paying attention now, Bree. Look at you.
Is that a DIY?
Hey, what? You know what's messed up? What if that's me in the video, dude? Yeah. See, now you look back down. Okay.
Here.
It's quick. Yeah, this beat is the shit, dude. This is kind of insane. And see, it was for something wholesome and practical in the end.
What?
What?
I didn't hear that. You were like low on that one.
Oh, you didn't hear me? Can you hear me now?
That shit was entertaining.
Hell yeah, dude. That was really good. He is kind of like in a zone of making like non-stop, like insanely good beats at this juncture. He's on a tear. Pesto Fresh, thank you for following. I appreciate that. Here goes Garrison. I was trying to get Garrison on the show too. And Garrison
touring the world.
He's touring the world. Happy birthday to Garrison, by the way. He just had his birthday. And I believe he got to celebrate it in Paris. So that must have been just terrible to have to do that, you know?
Right. With 1,000 or 3 or 5
adoring
10,000.
fans.
Yeah, screaming.
Just terrible.
Garrison.
Yeah. guys, it was a seat.
It's not good.
Hey, press rewind. Thank you, brother. Gifted us up to R&B Pikachu.
This shit is like spiritual as fuck.
Yeah. Damn.
That was really good.
Yeah. Lots of soul in that. Shout out to Garrison, man. Appreciate you. It's Pete's Homegrown Beats.
Yeah, this is a fly one too.
Nice.
That was nice, Pete.
I also like his artwork that he always has in his stuff. It's really cool.
That's what's really dope about these, man. I gush about that all the time. Like the videos and the artwork, the effort that you guys put in, man, that shit is appreciated like a motherfucker. I'm cussing a lot more.
You are. You're cussing a lot. It might be my fault, and I'm sorry about that. I'm a bad influence. Presto Fresh says, it's funny because as I said Presto Fresh, I read it all of a sudden as Pressed of Resh, and it broke my brain. But anyways, he says, thank you for playing my beat. Greetings to the family. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you doing that. Also, 88 Sampling's in here, and I don't even, I mean, he's just rolling with the English, and I don't think even English is his first language necessarily. Speaks much more better English than I do his language. I think he might be in Argentina, I think. I wonder what time it is there, too. Pete Homegrown Pizzas in the chat.
They got clocks there?
They got clocks, yeah. So I hear. But they don't go counterclockwise or clockwise. They go into the fourth dimension. So that's how that works. Vargas. Yeah, he's from Argentina. Of course, Vargas has a reel-to-reel machine.
I used to have that. That's the Zoom track.
Beat shocked me. Says TV. Thank you, Pesto. Clearly showing you he's in the red. Proudly.
Couldn't hear you over the drums. That was a nice one.
I couldn't hear you over the drums. I said proudly showing that he's in the red there.
Right.
This was like all the way in. Shout out to Vargas, man. He's awesome. Plus, you see the amount of snacks that he had in the background just beyond the machine he was using?
Yeah, that's like either he live at home or he has really just great shopping skills.
Yeah.
Like,
Snack master.
Right.
Hell yeah. This is
what
Studio
cartoon
Cannon.
is this?
Shit, now I'm gonna be thinking about that the whole time. I love this guy's beats though. Studio Cannon is the shit. I just hope it's canon and not canine, but I think it's canon. Didn't you do voiceover for this cartoon?
Yeah.
Damn, he whooped that dude's ass. Nice. I love that guy's beats. They're always really simple, kind of gritty and dirty, dusty.
Yeah.
So they're right in the pocket. Especially if you put lyrics on that shit, that would be really good. Shout out to Studio Cannon. We have another beat that's not going to show us the video. This is Zilla, though.
Yeah, I like this one.
Dude, Zilla's so damn talented.
Yeah, Zilla be Zilla.
Him and Garrison. Just fucking.
Yeah. His sound is just so. It's like I can do this, I can do that.
Yeah. Bobby Great. It's a dope breakdown.
Yeah, that is pretty fly.
I'm calling the cops, dude. That shit's tight.
That shit was just like that was a serious like thing.
That was like uplifting. That's the type of shit you want to have come on when you first wake up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Start my episode right.
Right. Oh yeah. Press rewind.
I think I heard this one too.
Press rewind notoriously beat me in the Major Vibes Challenge last season, so he's forever dead to me. I like that snare.
Yeah.
Nice. I could press rewind, man. He's good. He's always doing stuff on his Instagram too. Like, gotta check him out. Sometimes he's putting stuff together like live, I believe. I might have just lied to you. This is 88 sampling. Damn, dude. This is smooth as hell. Trying to go for use some new sound. You did it, man. That shit sounds tight.
That was nice. Nice and analog too. I like that.
Yeah, man. That shit was cool. The video scares the shit out of me because I have that phobia of like large bodies of water, but the music was right there I was with it. Loved it.
Let me put y'all on one game. There's 3 places in this world that you can stay for free. The fuck out my business. The
Delvon
fuck
Watson.
out my way. The fuck out my face.
Man, that kick. Hell yeah, dude. That was the shit.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was pretty sick.
Shout out to Delvon, man. He's awesome. Hopefully these videos don't keep popping up, invisible like that. But
Right? Like, what the hell?
I don't know. Internet.
The internet.
Potato Moons. This is Campy, and it's on me. I can't remember the other cat though.
Is that Campy?
That's Campy. It's Campy and another guy. They'll probably tell us in the chat.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I remember.
Yeah. Damn, this is a slow and chopped version of it all. Very trippy. Shit, He took it there. I like it when people aren't afraid to get weird, get a little weird with it. Now here's a question, Bree. What are you looking down at? Are you sexting someone? Is that what's going on?
I am.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Chick, she's in the group home. She just got out of jail. No, a family member is stuck on the side of the road, and I'm trying to navigate with them.
You keep texting them. I'm right around the corner. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Now, is the family member RTC? Did he leave and get stuck in the corner, and now you?
Right. Now I'm like, hold on, I'll be right there.
Right.
Just give me 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes.
Coming.
Because I don't know. My phone's not going off, so better not be me.
You're a lonely old man.
Here we go. This is
Fucci
Music.
Fucci.
put Redman on it, dude.
I blow the spot up in any hood and boondocks. Make the bully of the block move and get new locks. The who kicks stop phenomenal, astronomical.
Fuji.
Nice.
Fuji got some nice shit.
Yeah, he does. That brought me back to like 96, 97.
Man, such a long time ago.
All right. Putting Redman in shit, though, is a cheat code. You know what I mean? Like, you put Redman on something, you're going to instantly enjoy it 10 times more. It's like putting salt on something. You're going to love it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna
get you right back there in the little. More bread, less art. Very grungy.
He took it there.
Yeah. Nice. That was it was gritty.
It
had some very like distorted bass.
It did yeah. Exactly what you just saying, like going weird with it.
Yeah. I like when they get weird. Quick shout out to now I can pronounce your name correctly, Kinko. You have won the Mixwell Care Package. I'm hoping RTC comes back in time so we can announce the winner of the Serato Studio year subscription. I don't know if that's a subscription or how that works. He knows more about that. He might be back. Let's continue. This is Messy Goods. Yeah, Zilla, I don't know why it says people aren't following. There's something wrong with that, because I believe she is following. Almost positive. Hell yeah, that was like a little more simple for Messy. Messy usually goes crazy big with the drums and everything like that.
Yeah, it's like more boombastic. That was like real like in the cut. That's why I feel like that's been his sound this season. It's been a lot more conservative.
Yeah, he might be pulling into like more of a structured. I'm not sure. I mean, he's in the chat. He could probably tell us. Super simple, he says. Yep. There you go. It's good to do that sometimes. Like less is more. Then you can like go from what you learn by doing that and then build out into a whole new set of sounds.
You got some rainbow corn there, sir?
I got me some rainbow corn.
New Roots.
All the different colors of rainbow.
What you got, boy?
Damn, dude. get a little Doom origin story along with that. My Halloween costume for this season, I'll have you know, and last season. But that was the shit. And I like sometimes when people just find like a simple loop and just let that run and let it be what it is. You kind of get, it's interesting because Fuji, the homie Fuji who sponsors the show, 7STM, was saying too, like sometimes it's nice to get something where you can kind of predict what's happening. You can get lost and sort of like zone out in it while you're doing something. Sometimes when things go a little too crazy, it can get difficult to kind of latch onto any part of it. Bree says he had to answer that call, so he will be back with us in just a moment. But until then, we're down to our final 3 beats. Shout out to Kinko for winning the Mixwell care package. Sometimes those take a while to get out, so if you haven't got yours yet, if you've won in the past, just hang tight. I think they do them in like a whole group, you know what I mean? And they probably have a few things that they're doing with that. Let's continue. Pablo Station.
Girl, you know.
Percussion is dope. I love how he adds those extra elements in there, and typically like all around, so you're getting like that sort of immersive like surrounding sound with a little, you know, sounds like it's somebody clinking on the glass and all that shit. But Pablo Station is consistently good. That dude has been cranking out like amazing beats literally since I think the beginning of Sunday School Beats. So shout out to Pablo, man. That shit's phenomenal. And you can see it in the chat that everybody's digging it. Even Messi says, this gentleman indeed. Dude's phenomenal. Jelts should have a career in album cover creation because these are the shit. Oh, damn. The hi-hats to kind of give it some motion, dropped them out at one point, then brought them back in. That's dope. I like that a lot. I like when people use the hi-hats to kind of give you that forward little bit of progression. Yeah. Oh, you're back.
I really enjoyed that one. It was real
dope. The disembodied voice of Mind of Modium approves. We're down to our final beat. So before I play the final beat, I just want to say thank you to everybody who's participated thus far. This is our second to last show. So be looking for that link. I'll send you a link to the next session. And all you got to do is make sure you've got your camera set up, a set of headphones, and your mic. And you can chop it up with us. Let's join in to the Beatcast. We'll talk some music, talk beats. It's going to be the 30th of October. So if you can plan ahead, because I know we're in different time zones. So it'll be 7 p.m. October 30th, 7 p.m. PST. So whatever that time is where you're from. And, you know, I don't know if RTC's back yet, so we may have to announce the winner, or I could use the same random selector as well and pick the winner of the Serato Studio giveaway. So, but let's get into our final beat before we do that. This is All in the Zone. Good use of that horn section. Nice, man. That's kind of a big way to end it too. Like heavy use of the horns. Now, Mind of Medium put one in as well, but when I try to play that beat, that file is corrupted. So, and we probably don't have time to reconvert it and put it up right now. So, but shout outs for your beat as well. I'm sure you posted it on your Instagram, so you could check it out at Mind of Modium. He would tell you that, but he's disembodied. He's on the call. Neither here nor there. Thank you to everybody who's jumped in with us this entire season. I'm looking forward to the next show. I think the Halloween show will be a blast. When we did it during the Sunday School Beats season 1. It was phenomenal. It was like really cool. A bunch of fools popped up. So if you want to get in costume as well, by all means, please do that. And the next sample for this challenge is going to go live tonight after I get off here, and it should be a good one. I know that this is the Halloween edition, and I know that RTC is like a massive horror and Halloween fan, so I'm sure he has something scheduled for that, or put together for that, so it's going to be entertaining. But yeah, without further ado, I guess we'll head out. Anything you want to add, Bree?
Hey, sorry about that, guys. Some bullshit, but another good show. Thanks for being a good guest and being open and sharing parts of you that other cats have not, and they've been asking about and whatnot. And thank you guys for tuning in and checking us out and rocking with us. Like he was saying, get ready for the next show. Get your mic and your headphones together, and we'll rock out. And we're gonna. If you watched the last show where we did it and we had all the guests come in, it was just cycling everybody in and out, and just coming in and chopping it up for a minute, playing some beats and stuff, and be on the lookout for that next season, because we're putting together a lot more stuff to make it a little bit more hearty, and a lot more for you. So a lot more content and
tapes as well too. We're gonna be hitting you up about being a part of the next compilation tape. So I think RTC will be the one to reach out, so you'll get something from him.
So and their tape, they're like at least three or four. Is it 3 or 4 tapes are coming out, and they are gonna come out.
Dude, there's some cool shit coming out. Yeah,
quarterly. We're gonna be knocking some stuff out. So it's a lot more organized and a lot more, shit for you. I don't know why I did that. Just shit, because no one wants shit to do this.
No one wants that, dude. That's the last thing you want shit to do. Everybody's saying thank you. No, thank you guys. We appreciate you guys. And and Zilla says I'm done helping anyway. We appreciate that. Everyone killed it this week, says Messi. Bless the Beatcast, says Tigri. And we appreciate all you guys. So we'll catch you on the next one. Appreciate it. We're going to raid out. So hang out in the post thing, and we'll raid out to another channel. So if you want to hang in there, when you get there, tell them you're from the Beatcast. We'll see you guys.